Hello, today we're going to do a continuation from the previous video that I created. The previous video was about physical health checks, physical exams that you could be doing on your pet at home. As you can see, I'm once again joined by my dog, Beau. Today for the continuation, we're going to talk a little bit about some pet grooming, basic pet care that you can do at home with your dog, your cat, and even some of these principles apply to rabbits if you have any. So as Beau stretches and explores, I'm going to talk about some supplies that I'm going to be using today. It's okay if you don't have all these supplies. I'm just going to tell you what I have and what they're used for, and then I'm going to do a quick demonstration on Beau. Once again, doing this is helpful for your pet. It's another way that you can acclimate them to maybe something that is uncomfortable, like brushing their teeth, cleaning their ears, clipping their nails. It's also a really good way to do a health check on them because, as you'll see when I start brushing Beau's fur, I can look for things like hot spots or irritated skin areas on Beau. When you do this, I would recommend you do it maybe outside if you have a yard, a driveway, a garage. I don't recommend doing it in a basement like what I'm doing today, or maybe in a kitchen. It can get messy, especially when we're clipping nails and brushing hair. So do it in an area where it is okay to get messy. All right, are you ready to get started, Beau? I just woke him up from a nap so he could do this video. All right, here's a couple supplies that I'm gonna use today. I've got a brush, and the brush should be based off of what type of animal you're working with. So if you have maybe a long-coated dog that has the top coat and undercoat, you might need to use a different brush than what I'm using today. All right, but this works on, like I said, I've got a golden retriever. He's a medium-haired dog, and he doesn't have much for an undercoat, so this will work just fine. It's also springtime, and so I really want to make sure I get that top layer off. Otherwise, he's going to shed like crazy. It looks like we have tumbleweeds rolling through our living room right now, actually. It's like a scene out of a Wild Wild West movie. The next thing I've got is clippers, and these are used for clipping the nails of the dog. If you are working with a rabbit, or I think these also might work on guinea pigs, they make smaller versions of this. I actually had a student teach me about them. They look like scissors, the smaller version. They're easier to handle, but if you're working with a dog, having a bigger version works nicely. It's good for leverage. Going along with the nail trimmers, we're going to talk about the quick in a few minutes, but the quick is a vein that is inside the nail of the dog. Sometimes you might clip it and it might bleed. I have just a bag of flour. This is regular cooking flour, so just in case the quick is cut and a little bit of blood comes out, you can take this flour and you can push it into the nail, into the vein, and you can stop the blood. It does happen. I've clipped many nails on dogs and rabbits, but I still clip the vein or the quick every now and then. So if it happens, don't freak out. Just have something on hand like flour to help stop it. You can also buy things off of Amazon like Blood Stop. It's got a weird iron smell to it. It's pretty much just ground up charcoal. The next thing I have are dog treats. And the whole reason for using dog treats is we want to give them some sort of positive reward to what's going on. This can be a scary and new experience for some pets, but if you can associate with what we're doing today to something positive, that'll make them want to do it in the future. Dogs, cats, rabbits, animals in general, they do associate positive things and negative things to certain scenarios. I've got these are literally unscented baby wipes. This is what I use to clean out Beau's ears, and you can see him perk up. He knows what this bag is. You can use pretty much any type of baby wipe that you want. This is just the generic Walmart brand. I do not recommend using something like a Q-tip because you can go too far. Dogs' ear canals are a little bit different than humans. Our ear canal is straight, whereas a dog is more like an L shape. So it goes in and then it cuts in as well. But I would recommend using the baby wipes, not necessarily Q-tips. Another thing that I have is toothpaste. Don't just use human toothpaste. This is looks like Arm& Hammer, and it is intended for dogs. You can also get this for cats, and it's got like flavoring to it. I can't remember what this is. Chicken flavor. We've used beef flavor on Beau in the past, but this is kind of like a treat for them. So you're using it to clean off their teeth, but if you get something that is flavored really well, once again, your dog will associate with something positive, something fun, something delicious. The last thing I have is, and this is pretty optional, this is just, I don't know, you can think of it as like hand cream or hand lotion, but it's for the pads of the dog. It's not wintertime anymore, but here in Iowa, winters can get pretty tough, and we put a lot of salt and sand on our sidewalks so it doesn't get slick. That is really, really tough on a dog's paws. And I don't put boots or socks on Beau, but what I will do is when his pads of his paws start to crack and break, I will put some of this on. I'm not going to do this today because he doesn't need it as much as he did a couple months ago when we were really in the middle of winter. All right. What I'm going to demonstrate first on him is, well, I'll show you how I do some brushing techniques on him. Brushing isn't too complicated, to be honest with you. Bobo, come here. Come on. He's not awake right now. Bobo, come on. All right, here we go. We got some tips. I'm not above bribing my dog. I like to take the collar off of him just so I can get his neck. What I do on him is I brush everything forward. I go against the grain. So I'll brush and I'll brush and I'll brush. I mean, I'll get his belly, I'll get his legs, I'll get behind his ears, I'll get his tail as well. I'll get everything going forward, and then at the very end, I'll go backward, and then you'll see a whole bunch of hair come off of him. Now you gotta keep in mind the type of hair that your animal may have. So if you have a breed of dog that has any sort of poodle, maybe it's a toy poodle, standard poodle, or a cross with a poodle, their hair is super tight. Maybe brushing isn't what you want to do on them. So I'm not going to brush them out completely, otherwise we're going to have hair flying everywhere, and it makes quite a mess. So brushing is what I start out with first on him. The next thing that I like to move to is cleaning out his ears. So I'll grab the baby wipes. And don't be surprised if your dog doesn't respond very well at first. Just make sure that you're giving your animal treats, giving them positive reinforcement. Make this a good experience. If you've never cleaned out your dog's ears before, honestly, before you use wipes, I would spend maybe a week, honestly, just playing with their ears. Rubbing them, rubbing the outside, rubbing the inside. Just make them think that you're petting them. I started doing this with Beau when I first got him when he was a little puppy. So it got him pretty well acclimated to me playing with his ears. When it comes to overall grooming, I would recommend looking at cleaning your dog's ears, teeth, and at least looking at the nails once a week. I wouldn't do it much more than that unless it calls for that. So if it's got extra buildup on the teeth, extra buildup in the ears. All right, how's that feel? Does that feel good? Okay, I'm gonna clean out one of his ears real quick. All right, Bobo, stay right there. Once again, they're animals, they might not respond the best. But I'm just gonna stick my finger into his ear. Rub it around a little bit. I know. All right, and then I don't know if you can see from the camera view, but there is some stuff that came out, some black, brown, gross stuff. That's good, that's what we wanna have happen. All right, good boy, I'll get the rest later. Moving on from the ears, I'm going to reward him again. Once again, positive. No, you can't have the whole treat. You can't have the whole thing. Once again, positive reinforcement. Just tell him he's doing a good job. As you can tell, he's not very camera shy. The next thing I'm going to do is move to the nails, but I want to demonstrate to you what the quick might look like. So here's my really, really good picture of a nail on a dog. It looks similar to a cat, and it would look similar to a rabbit. This is a side view. If you imagine the orange part being the nail, the blue part would be the quick, it would be the vein. Now this can be a challenge if you have an animal that has a nail that is a dark color. So it might be black, it might be like clear and black. If your dog or other animal does not have clear nails, this can get more challenging, but not impossible. It's just more challenging. Also, if you have not done this for a long time, the quick does grow out, and so you can actually maybe find it that it's at the very end of the nail. It might not be worked back, but I clip Beau's nails about every week, and so his quick has been worked back pretty well. Beau was playing fetch a lot yesterday, so his nails are pretty dark. I'm going to take a look and clip one right now. He might roll over while I do this. He doesn't quite enjoy this. All right, I'm going to clip one. I just took off the very tip of it. What you'll notice on the nails is the deeper you go, the closer you get to the quick, the middle of the nail will show up pink. Once you see like a pink color show up, you've probably gone far enough. Once again, you might hit the quick. It's not the end of the world. Your dog is not going to die and bleed out. Just make sure you have something like flour on hand to stop it. I'll get the rest of your nails later. It's really important to keep up with the nail care on your dog. It affects the way that they walk. It affects the way that they move. I'm going to grab another tool that's optional that you might want to use. This is a Dremel tool, and so it's just a spinning rock head. Beau's now going to go hide in the corner. So you just turn it on, it spins. What you can do with this is if your dog or other animal does not like you messing with their paws, messing with their nails, you can take a Dremel tool if you have one or if you know someone that has one, and you can just go on the front and the top of the nail, do that 2 or 3 times very quickly, and call it good. What you'll do by going on the front and the top is you'll actually slowly work that quick back. So if you're not able to clip the nails of your animal at this time, but maybe you have a Dremel, going on the front and the top can help work that quick back. The last thing I'm going to do on Beau is brush his teeth. And he does not normally enjoy this. So let's see how it goes. Maybe he'll actually cooperate for it. All right, that's it. So once again, we want to give a positive experience for our pet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit on my finger and just let him lick it off. He's not too excited about it today. No? You can get multiple tools to brush your dog's teeth. They have like little toothbrushes. They have these rubber things that go in your finger. They kind of look like a thimble, like a sewing thimble. I prefer just to use my fingers. So I'm going to put some on my finger. Can I just get the back? Get the back one. I'm going to look at his teeth. I know he's got a little bit of tartar buildup. And so his teeth aren't like a nice shiny white. They've got some brown and some yellow spots on them. So I'm just going to take my finger to the back. And I'm just going to work on his far back molars. I can't remember what those teeth are actually called. I'm just using human terms. And then I'll put more toothbrush on and I'll keep working on all of the teeth. It's important to clean your dog's teeth, number one, so that they stay strong and healthy. You don't want your pet losing any teeth. But also if you have plaque buildup, the plaque can chip off of the teeth and fall into the or the bloodstream, if you will, and it can actually clot and cause heart issues. It's crazy to think that something as simple as cleaning a dog's teeth can actually help their heart. It can help protect them from having certain types of clotting from the plaque falling off. So on Beau, later on I'll finish this up, but I would work all the way around his mouth, doing the top and bottom, giving him treats occasionally, just so it's a positive experience. Was that too bad? If you've never done this with your pet before, just make sure you constantly give them rewards, give them treats, give them praise. You want to make this a positive experience because if it's a negative experience, they're gonna remember it. All right, you ready to call it a day? Are you done? All right, thanks for watching.